The following Fox 4 Sports presentation is powered by the Clay Cooley Auto Group.
Coming out here, this is one of these times that, you know, it rejuvenates you, re-energizes you, and it humbles you.
Jason Garrett, in my opinion, moving forward, gives Dallas the best opportunity.
With training camp in Oxnard just over a month away, Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott this weekend hosts a camp of his own. We hear from Dak tonight as part of Sports Sunday. I'm Mike Ducey, happy to have in studio former Cowboys great Daryl Johnston. Moose has a new job as GM of the San Antonio franchise in a new Pro Football League. We will get into that and DJ's thoughts on Dak and the Cowboys season ahead. Also tonight, with the Mavs and Stars drafts in the books, a look at what the franchises may have accomplished over this past weekend. And the Red Hot Rangers, well, they continue a series, wrapping up a successful road trip, but which of the club's prominent players might soon be playing for someone else? That's coming up. For a busy weekend for quarterback Dak Prescott at Trophy Club, the Cowboys QB hosting his football camp for kids. 500 or so showing up for instruction from Dak and other camp counselors. Prescott, of course, is looking ahead to his own training camp. The Cowboys reporting to Oxnard July 24th, coming off a 9-7 non-playoff season. Dak is eager to prove that this team can bounce back.
I like where we're headed. I like the way we finished OTAs and minicamp, our attitude as a team, our hunger, the youthfulness, the energy. And you can see guys were excited to get back. And guys, what's good is always on the last day of an OTA minicamp, guys aren't sprinting out the door. To me, that means something, and they weren't. So that was exciting to see, and knowing guys want to get back together. They want to get back together in this off time to not only just hang out, but to work and get better at ball is exactly what we need in a young team. And so we've got the right idea.
Still out on Prescott as a pro quarterback. It seems as though he has what it takes, though, to be a quality QB for years to come. As a person, if you've spent any time around him, he's pretty impressive. And dozens of kids and their parents are no doubt feeling that way tonight. Fox 4's Edward Egros was up early this morning with the campers.
These kids want to impress the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback, whether it's with their football skills or their dance moves. And of course, they ask the most probing questions.
Probably less about this season and more about Fortnite. These kids are obsessed with Fortnite, and it's what's my favorite Fortnite dance? Do I play the Fortnite with Zeke?
550 children from 1st through 8th grade participated in this weekend's pro camp at Byron Nelson High School. Dak has conducted several of these kinds of events in his 2 years as a pro because he knows what these children are going through, hoping to be him someday.
I basically challenged them yesterday, leaving camp, to think about your dreams. Think about your dreams tonight, and I'm going to come around tomorrow and I'm going to ask a bunch of different kids. And it was great to get some of the answers, to play football, to play in the NBA. One kid wanted to be a professional builder, as he said, or a school teacher.
This camp attracted hundreds of families, as well as Dak's teammates like BFF Zeke Elliott. These players loved having the extra feedback, and one camper really loved the extra feedback.
It is special, when your teammates come out here and support you. You know, a lot of guys aren't in town, so it's about finding what guys are in town. And, you know, they're just coming out here simply on their break. And for Zeke to show up today, Alan Hearns showed up yesterday, means a lot.
Dak highlights the special bonds he's built with these campers. While one admitted he was bullied and others shared the challenges that many of us experienced growing up, as different as these players are, Dak sees himself in one of them.
Coming out here, this is one of these times that, you know, it rejuvenates you, re-energizes you, and it humbles you. Not only that, it inspires me just to see myself in these kids, from the younger kids to the older kids, and seeing where I was, seeing my dreams, and just having the ability to be out here and spend time with somebody that if I was in their shoes and got to hang out with an NFL quarterback, I'd have been blown away.
Dak admitted the kids can occasionally be a little honest, like when they ask about his interceptions or losing games. But much more often, they provide special moments that make putting on these camps in the offseason so worth it. Deuce?
Fox Sports NFL analyst Daryl Johnston has now added Pro Football General Manager to his list of titles. The former Cowboy great named this past week as the GM for the San Antonio franchise and the new Alliance of American Football, the spring league that debuts next year. He has a special T-shirt he's going to present to me in just a moment. But well, you got a busy life already. Why take this on? What intrigued you about this?
Well, this is something I've been looking at for a couple of years now. You know, this will be my 19th year as a broadcaster, so I know that there's probably, you know, there's shelf life left. I've got some years left where, you know, the TV thing is going to be an option, but I also start to see some of the younger guys coming out that are more current with the fan base. And it was a natural transition when I came into television, you know, followed by Troy, and there was a bunch of guys that came through our era that replaced guys that had been there for a while. So just, you know, just to make sure that, that things were going to be in a good situation for me, I started to look at the opportunity to see what a front office would be. I looked at other things, but I've got 30 years invested in the NFL. You know, 11 as a player, almost 19 now as a broadcaster. So, you know, this is where I'm comfortable. This is where I feel confident that I could help somebody. So I started to look at the front office, and the Cowboys have been great. I mean, this opportunity wouldn't have come together had not been for Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones making a phone call to Bill Polian, who's a part of the AAF, and Will McClay has been a huge ally, helping me get acclimated to the front office, the language, the vocabulary, what they're looking for in a player, being able to translate that to the coaching staff. So the Cowboys were key in this whole transition.
So this is a complimentary league to the NFL. 8 teams, I believe, a 10-game season. Mike Riley is coaching your team. A lot of familiar coaching names: Steve Spurrier, Mike Singletary, Dennis Erickson, so some big names. What will be different about this league that fans might like?
Well, the whole thing about the alliance is it's the 3 components of the league. So it is the fans, the players, and the game. So I think you're going to see some unique things with the fans that they're going to try to engage. We'll have affordable seats at the 35-yard line for $35. We're going to have a very big digital presence where fans are going to be able to interact with the players. They really want to build that bond between the communities that the cities are hosting the teams in and the players in the organization. So I think that'll be a unique thing. And it gives an opportunity for guys that, for one reason or another, weren't able to make it to the NFL. And that was some of the numbers that I had never heard about. You know, there's 1,700 guys that have an opportunity to have an NFL position. There's 70,000 people out there that are competing for those small spots. So there's a lot of talented football players that, for whatever reason, haven't made it to that next level, and we're hoping to get them there.
Well, we're glad you will be doing games in the fall for Fox again, though. You talk about shelf life. That gets me worried. Yeah, I need to be thinking about that. Well, we just heard from Dak Prescott at his football camp. He'll be in Oxnard a month from now, beginning his 3rd year as Cowboys quarterback. What are your expectations for Dak? I know you've been around the team a little bit this spring. For him and for this offense in general as they get things going.
I'm excited. I was able to be out there for OTAs and for the mini camp, and I saw a progression with Dak Prescott through that time frame. You know, his footwork, the platform he was throwing from, is getting much more consistent. I think the concern by the fan base with the wide receiver group, maybe a little bit premature. I was really impressed with the talent across the board. Now, and is there a pure number 1 out there? No, but there's not a lot of teams in the NFL that have that pure number 1. And because this is a run-first offense that's built around a great offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott, the passing game is something that's going to be complementary. So if we can do running back by committee in Green Bay, because we like to throw the ball more than we run the ball, why can't we do wide receiver by committee in Dallas, because we like to run the ball more than we throw the ball? So I think it's just a different philosophy here in Dallas, and I was very impressed with the skill level. I think Michael Gallup's going to surprise some people. I think he's got some skills that are beyond his age right now. He's got great hands, got a great feel for the sideline, good body control. So I think that this wide receiver group is going to surprise some people, and I think Sanjay Lal is going to maximize the abilities that group has.
I know you're not necessarily into the talk radio type discussions, but let's talk about Jason Garrett just a little bit and the hot seat that he's on. 8th full season he's beginning. We know about his lack of success in the postseason. What does he have to do to make sure that he keeps his job this year, you think?
The same thing that every coach does, and that's win football games. And, you know, I'm biased because I don't only respect Jason Garrett as a football coach, but because he's a friend of mine. You know, I look at it through a different lens. There's an ebb and flow. I think everybody has to take a step back when you have a tough season. You know, when Dallas has struggled and they haven't been able to follow up a good season with another good season, there's been a pretty glaring reason why that happened. So I think you have to be able to give a head coach time. And it's one of the great things that John Madden said. And this was about the San Francisco 49ers when they moved away from Steve Mariucci. But they had no plan after that. So sometimes you do that, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a decade of mediocrity. And in San Francisco's case, not even mediocrity.
Yeah, right.
So that was a tough decade. They made a change for change's sake, and there was nobody there. Jason Garrett, in my opinion, moving forward, gives Dallas the best opportunity, and they've got that window right now with a quarterback and a very talented running back on rookie contracts. And to make a change now would be it would be sabotage to that organization. Keep everything in place, take a run with this window that's there. I just think a lot of people are going to be surprised. I think the secondary is going to be very good. I think Chris Richard has done a great job with these guys. So the areas that everybody's concerned about, wide receiver, secondary, I think are going to be very surprising to the Dallas fan base this season.
All right, much more coming up with Daryl Johnston. Dez Bryant still without a team. Would Daryl, the general manager, sign Dez? We'll ask him coming up. Back with Daryl Johnston from Fox, general manager of the San Antonio franchise, the new Alliance of American Football, a pro league that will get started in the spring. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Dez Bryant, released by the Cowboys, still without a team. Are you surprised by that?
I am surprised that he's without a team. I was surprised that he turned down the Baltimore offer. I thought that was an offer that was going to exceed anything that he was going to get on the free agent market. So when he turned that one down, I think you send a message too to the rest of the league that probably has their financial parameters in place as to what they would like to sign you at. And when you say no to that, well, he's definitely going to say no to what we're going to offer, because we can't even come close to those numbers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think he'll get signed at some point. He's too talented, but this has been a big learning experience for him. And you've got a window when you're young to set yourself on a financial path. And obviously he did that with the one big contract he signed here with Dallas, but I think he missed an opportunity with another opportunity to sign a very good contract with the Baltimore Ravens after being released by the Cowboys.
As a general manager, would there be anything about Dez's personality that would scare you away?
I don't know him well enough to say that. I'd have to sit down with him and talk to him. I'd have to talk to the people that had spent a lot of time with him in the past to get that information. But obviously there's something out there that is causing a little bit of pause with some of these teams to bring him in. So I think mainly it's financial. It's a tough time of the year, to make the additions like that to your roster. So we'll wait to see what happens. But there's going to be injuries in training camp. At some point, somebody's going to find the right number to get him in at. It's going to be something that Dez and his group agrees is a fair offer, and he'll come in. And then I hope he uses that opportunity to go out and I'm learning this. I used to try to prove people wrong. Now you want to start to try to prove people right. Start to prove the people right in your camp that believed in you through this whole process, that you do have the skills left to be a good player here in the NFL.
And you don't think the team that eventually signs him will be the Cowboys again? There's just been a little bit of buzz about that. That would be highly unusual, obviously. Have you heard anything in that regard at all?
I've heard nothing in regards to them bringing him back. So I would be surprised at that if that was to happen. To me, that would be something bad for Dez, because that would mean the value on the free market had dropped to a point where Dallas felt it was good for them to get back into that situation, which means that would be a very, very low contract offer. So that would not be a good thing for Dez Bryant.
All right, we close with Daryl Johnston, GM of the San Antonio franchise of the new Alliance of American Football starting in the spring. Do you have a name for the team yet?
We don't have a name yet. Yeah, we're getting to names, to jersey colors and everything here down the road. We've got a big meeting in San Francisco this week with all the GMs from the league, so we're going to get into a little bit of the detail with some of the things, but we're still kind of moving forward with baby steps. So there's a lot of things we're starting to learn as we go from week to week.
This is interesting. So you're the general manager, but you're not the owner. They're actually separate people who have the. I'm taking a dig at Jerry.
Yes, okay, I'm on board with that. Yeah. Well, no, I could be arguing with somebody that's at the league level, because we're a single owner entity in the AAF. So there is an owner above me, but he's way above. So we'll all be arguing with him, all 8 of us, as we try to get everything figured out.
Daryl, the general manager, is not Daryl, the owner. All right, let's do the official unveiling.
Absolutely.
Here.
So you're going to be my first representative here. So right now we are the Alliance San Antonio until we get our names. So for everything that you've helped me out with through my career. I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Great having you
absolutely.
in.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Best of luck with the new endeavor. And again, I'm really happy that you'll continue to do games on our network as well.
And I do have to say thank you to Fox because you know, it got down to the wire there for a little bit. And are you going to be able to juggle both of these things through the fall? And Eric Shanks and John Entz and Amy Leone out at Fox were fantastic, having the faith and the belief in me that I'm going to be able to allocate my time and be able to get both done. So they're a great organization. I'm very happy to be with them still.
Well, you have something with Fox that I'll never have. It's called leverage. Congratulations for that. Daryl Johnston, always great having you in.
Great to be with you, Mike.